Now, selecting a book cover template is extremely important because it is going to give you a push start and it will speed up the entire process. So you don't have to create the entire book cover from scratch. And one thing that is extremely important is if you'll go to Amazon.com, you'll realize that Amazon has this white background and all the books with a very high contrast color is going to pop out.
The show starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go.
Hello world, and welcome back to Not Your Average Boss. On today's episode, I have a very special guest. He's the CEO of Authors on Mission, best-selling author of 2 best-selling books, Power the Success Mantra and How to Write a Bestseller, with the hopes of helping 10,000 people turn their ideas into best-selling books by 2025. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the show, Vikrant, Shaurya. How you doing, Vikrant? Yes, sir. No problem. Thank you for being on the show, man. Definitely appreciate your time and your expertise when it comes to being a best-selling author and starting your business when it comes to Authors on Mission, man. So can you just tell us a little bit about Authors on Mission and kind of your background when it comes to being an author and being an entrepreneur as well?
Yeah, we're in the business of helping entrepreneurs and thought leaders write books that can help change the world or improve the world. And basically, we offer done-for-you book writing, publishing, and marketing services through which anyone, even if someone has no time or the skill set to write a book, we can help them in the publishing journey. So we are in this business for over a decade now and have helped more than 500 clients. A little bit about my background. I wrote my first book 11, 12 years ago. And basically, I wrote several books under my pen names. I understood the process, exactly how it works, and then started helping other people through my coaching and consultation. I saw an opportunity that I can also offer service as well. I assembled a team of ghostwriters, editors, designers, marketers, and I created this company, Authors on Mission. So yeah, this is exactly how we started the company.
Awesome. Yeah, man. I mean, you have a lot of good stuff in the book P.O.W.E.R Mantra when it comes to just understanding our passions and following our passions. And, the acronym with Power, I thought that was, really, really good, man, because, it translates to leadership. It translates to career development. It translates to entrepreneurship. Really, it translates to, every aspect of our life and how we can approach our goals and the structure and systems that we put in place to help us reach those goals. So I kind of want to talk a little bit about, that, as far as the passion element. Well, really just kind of talk about, power as far as the acronym and kind of break down the acronym and kind of, we'll talk about the points there. Because in the book, you talk about being uncomfortable. I like, how you kind of, you were put out there to, first day of this one particular class, put out there to talk in front of a bunch of people. It was uncomfortable, and getting out of your comfort zone to, introduce yourself. It's all about, growth, and being uncomfortable is a part of growth. So can you talk a little bit about that situation, and then the power as far as the acronym of that, and kind of break that down a little bit more?
Yeah. I used to be kind of a very, very shy kid in my high school. It used to be kind of very difficult for me, specifically when there used to be recess or whenever a class ends and we used to wait for another teacher for the next class. That 5 minutes used to be extremely difficult for me. I was not social at all. Everyone used to play. Everyone used to make fun in the classroom. And I was the only one who used to pray that, hey, God, please send the teacher as fast as possible. Because I was kind of I used to be very embarrassed of this situation, sitting alone. I had no friends. I had some friends, but for an example, but not so close. They used to hang out with other kids. But yeah, it was very tough. And that journey, from being a very shy introvert person, and now have started a company. Hey, we have more than 40 people in our organization. I now have to be spoken. Like I have to speak a lot. I have to talk to so many people, so many clients, people like you as well. So there are so many things that I have done to change that. And some of those things or some of the traits, like I have added those in my first book that I released under my name. That was Power, the Success Mantra. And it was not kind of a very instantly that I created this system, but basically to be a leader or to run or any kind of organization, like there are some of the elements that you need in yourself. I wrote this book, I think 7-8 years ago. Now there's so many things have changed. I should have updated the book now, but back then it used to be kind of a 6 elements. So I drew a star, right? And they used, there are 5 corners of stars, right? So at every corner, I placed power, like P.O.W.E.R. And in the middle of the star, I placed V. So V, I believe, is very important for any leader. V stands for vision, right? For anything to get started, like you have to have a vision.
Right.
And your entire team member, people like who work with you, they should resonate with that vision. You should actually be very, very vocal about your vision, that exactly what you want to achieve. So vision is the first thing that is extremely important. Then comes the other 5 pillars or 5 elements that you need. P stands for passion. So sometimes like you might be down, sometimes you might be very, very passionate about those things. But most of the time, like you have to work work with passionately, just to make sure that you deliver like really, really great stuff in the world. So passion is really important. Then comes optimism. In entrepreneurship, like of course things are very not so smooth every day. Like there are always ups and downs, roller coaster. So you have to, you need that optimism that, hey, maybe this day or this month or this year is not going as per I wanted, but I'm sure that I'll be able to change it, right? And how you'll be able to change it is by the next element, which stands for W, which stands for willpower. So you need that sort of willpower to stand in front of your fears, in front of your failures, and still act just to make sure that you win one day.
Right.
E stands for enthusiasm, like where you have to, things can go down, but it should not go, your failure should not go in your head, including your success. Like some people get successful and then they are out of the world and they're having egos. So you have to act enthusiastically, but you have to also have some sort of control. And the last is R, that stands for rationale, where you have to have, like as a leader, you should know that what is right and what is not right, right? So you should have some sort of ethics, integrity in yourself, that you won't do bad for the world, for the people like who work with you, for your clients, for your team members, for your family, friends, like everything combined. Like 6-7 years ago, I used to think that this is what any leader wants, like this power. And that also has this V, like that stands for vision, in the core of its heart. And if anyone has these 6 elements or 6 pillars, he can really be a good leader in any organization.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, that's awesome, man. That acronym, and that the pillar system, man, I really was, encouraged by that and inspired by that, because, I kind of live my life in that way, but then put it and frame it in that framework of power, and I was like, man, this is this is awesome because, I mean, you know, where there's no vision, people, you know, perish. And when you look at it, you know, like from that aspect, being a leader, being an entrepreneur, it starts with the vision. Okay, what is the vision for my business? What's the vision for my family? What's the vision for my life? You know, you have to write it out, make it plain, right? So when we understand where we're trying to go, you know, it's important to have that mapped out. And I just want to talk about a couple of them just to, you know, really put some things in perspective when it comes to helping people identify their, you know, their passion, because it's like, it deals with the why. You know, why do I want to go down this road? I think you talked a little bit about, you know, your parents wanted you to do, you know, a certain job in the book, P.O.W.E.R, the success mantra. This is the traditional path I want you to go down. I don't want you to go down the entrepreneurial path. I want you to go down the traditional, go to school, you know, get this degree, you know, do this, you know, particular business that, or this field that I want you. It could be healthcare, it could be, you know, customer service, it could be marketing, it could be, you know, something that brings them, you know, joy and they could be proud of and things like that, which is cool. We want, you know, of course, we want to make our parents proud and people who care about us proud, of course, but what do you want to do? And that's a big part of finding your journey, finding your path in life when it comes to your career and what, you know, what job you want to have, what career you want to have, and what makes you feel most fulfilled, because that goes back to the why, that goes back to the passion. You know, first is the vision, then it goes to the passion when it comes to that particular structure. So, you know, looking at I think you brought up Abraham Maslow, and I like that hierarchy of needs situation when I was doing sociology or learning sociology. I like that philosophy because it's like, it kind of puts things in perspective as well when it comes to, hey, if I get my basic physiological needs met, I can start focusing on everything else. Meaning, if I feel secure, if I feel safe, if I feel, you know, I got food on the table, clothes on my back, I don't have to worry about that stuff. Now I could go to the next level of, you know, okay, looking at self-awareness and things like that, which is the highest, self-actualization is the highest level of that particular hierarchy of needs when it comes to Abraham Maslow's theory. So I liked how you frameworked that and how you put that out there when it came to that. I was like, yo, I like that. You know, that was one of my favorite aspects of it, because it's like, man, I never really looked at it like that. How we, you know, the basic needs, we handle that, and then we look at, okay, how can I progress within this? And your passion, it starts with what do you feel gives you that fulfillment, you know? And yes, we do have jobs that sometimes are like, okay, this is like a placeholder job. You talk about that as far as your job that you had, to where it was secure, where it was like you was making good money, and you're like, yeah, this is cool, but I still don't fulfill. I feel like I maxed out here. I feel like I've done everything here, and I want to really start going down this entrepreneurial path to set up my business when it comes to Arthur's Or mission.
Yeah, that's true. For me specifically, I believe like there's a famous saying as well that charity begins at home. So of course you have to do good for the world, but you have to start from within, right? You have to first make sure that your family is secure, like your kids, your wife, your parents, they're secure, then friends, and then people like who work with you, then the other world, like the other societies, right? Like you have to contribute in such a way that everything is kind of like you're contributing to everyone, and that can only happen like when you start just to make sure that you find something that is going to be serving both your family, also the world. For me specifically with Authors on Mission, initially the goal was just to make money. Like honestly, I didn't think that I would be so much passionate about it. And initially I had to pay bills, and that's the reason like I had to start it. So, but when I started helping other clients, I realized that I'm not just helping our clients, like we are also helping the readers who are reading our clients' books. And basically these clients, they share testimonials, reviews of the readers who have read the books, and how it has those books have changed their lives, their businesses,
Mhm.
So basically, we are not just helping one client; we are helping thousands of other readers, like who are reading our clients' books. So
Mhm.
it's kind of a snowball effect that we at our company is bringing to this world. So this
Nice.
is what my team and I are very much passionate about every single day. That we are able to serve our clients, we are able to also serve the readers who are reading our clients' books.
Mhm. That's awesome, man. And, that's real. I mean, of course, we start um, different jobs because we're trying to figure things out and to make money to sustain ourselves. And, if you still don't know what you want to do with your life, you're in college now, and you're working jobs that, you may not like, but you're working towards that major, it's a stepping stone. However, within the stepping stone of that job that you may not necessarily like, or I'm just doing this to make some extra money while I go to school or pay for school, do your best to grow in that. Do yourself best to max out and maximize your effort so you can get that promotion, so you can get more financial stability when it comes to your job. Because I'm a big advocate about growing where you're planted. I'm a big advocate about doing what you can to advance and have that success in whatever aspect of your career. So I like how you were real about that, man. Yeah, I started for the money, but ultimately I found my passion within that, right? Like ultimately it sparked something, that you were like, man, this is awesome seeing these people, helping these authors get, reach their goals and seeing them, have that financial success, seeing them have their, goals fulfilled and passions reached and their why satisfied. So it may start like you're like, and like with myself, I could say that when I was working in a call center, man, like, I'm like, man, I didn't see myself working in a call center at this point in my life. And it was kind of a drag, to be honest. But, I was like, okay, I'm going to make the best of it. Going back to growing where you're planted. And, I moved up to become a manager and have one of the most successful teams in that organization. And it was great because a lot of challenges, but it was great to climb that ladder in that way because that was leadership was my passion, right? Helping people was my passion. And what happened from that, was, hey, I'm starting to, things are starting to get checked off my goal list and I'm starting to reach different goals and things like that I have for myself, starting at a call center job that I didn't really want to work. Right. So, you can find your passion if you don't know what it is right now. Cause I'm like, man, I'm trying this, I'm doing that. I love to do a lot of stuff. I love to draw, I love to write, I love to sing, I love to dance, I love to, do YouTube, so which one is my passion? And I have that question sometimes a lot with people who I talk to and who I've talked to over the years, trying to find their path. And sometimes, you have to have somebody in your corner, a great leader, a great, a thought leader or a friend, family member, loved one who kind of brings it to the forefront and be like, yo, you do great at this. Why don't you try that? Or I see you doing this. And that kind of could give you that fuel and that motivation you need to embark and start learning on that particular profession or journey. So willpower was another one that stuck out to me when it came to the power. What do you call it? The power star? Or what do you call it? Power structure? What do you call it? I like the power star.
Yeah, power star.
I like that. Power star, man. The willpower, because I mean, sometimes you have to do things, you have to push yourself to get out of your comfort zone. And you were talking about doing certain things, somebody's, coming to on a bus and, they need somewhere to sit or, you have to get an additional rep in and you don't feel like doing it, but you do it anyway because you're building that character, you're building that habit, you're building that muscle, strengthening that muscle of, willpower to overcome that situation. You're pushing yourself to build a positive habit to replace a negative one. And I think about James Clear, the Atomic Habits, where he talks about, having those small micro habits and compounding interest when it comes to your habits. And, I think he talks about a 1% every day. If you give yourself 1% towards an endeavor, towards a business, towards a goal, towards something you're trying to accomplish with your life, you can compound that over that year and potentially come out to 37% better as far as when it comes to what you were trying to do. You're trying to learn this skill. You're trying to learn this business. I'm going to give it 1%. And 1% doesn't seem like a lot, right? When you think about 1%, it's like, okay, it's not a whole lot. But if you think about
But it compounds.
There you go. But it compounds. 1% of a billion is a lot, right? So I'm getting all these, every day I have opportunity to build on this interest. Man, I read a paragraph today. Okay. Next day I read, 2 paragraphs. Next day I read the whole page. Next day I read the whole chapter. You see what I'm saying? So we're compounding on efforts, though they may seem small, they will add up eventually. Right. So, I thought that was good, man. When it came to the willpower, and then the rationale is another great point, of the power star, because it's like, a lot of times we can get caught up in emotion, right? Can you talk about that? Like, your moments of getting caught up in emotion, and where it was like, man, this makes more sense to stay here because I'm making money. It doesn't make sense for me to start a venture where I don't have any capital and I don't know how it's going to turn out. So can you talk a little bit about your experiences with that?
Yeah, for me specifically, like I never did a job. I initially, of course, my goal was to go through a corporate ladder and then become kind of a executive level person. And everyone in my circle, like specifically in the high school, wanted to become an engineer. Like I'm in India, and here in India, like if you're not a doctor and an engineer, then you're kind of a failure. This is like 10 years ago. And so when my dad asked me, what do you want to become in your life? I said, I want to become an engineer. Like I had still no goal, still no vision, still no path. So I didn't want to sound dumb. So I just told him that I know the answer, and this is what I want to become in my life. My dad was very generous. Like he sold his land and got my admission in an engineering college. But in the first year of the college, I realized that this is not for me. I still had no clue that what I'll be doing. But I was so damn sure that this is not for me. Like why I came to the conclusion, because I met so many seniors in my college. I also met so many seniors like who got placed in companies. I met them in the companies where they were working. I didn't like that setup, like that cubicle, and they had to just work from 9 to 5, sometimes like work overtime. I really didn't want that for my life. I really needed everything in my life, not only just the corporate thing and becoming an engineer. So I said to myself that I'll not be an engineer, but I really didn't know exactly what I'll be doing. So one fine day, I think I was in the 3rd trimester of my college, and I used to go in college library, and I used to read a lot of self-help books. Then that day I found this book, Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. And I never knew this guy. I just read the entire book in one single sitting. And it completely changed my perception about life and about finance. And I decided that I really want to start something of my own, my own business. I was 19 years old at that time. And the very same day, I just dropped out of the college. I never went back to the college. And I had no idea. I had no business plan exactly what I'll be doing. I would just kept on looking for business ideas after business ideas. So again, this rationality came over here. What is right? What is wrong? One mind, one brain, one part of the brain was saying that I should be here. I should just continue doing what I'm doing. My parents have already invested a lot of money over here, and they would be so proud that, when I'll be an engineer. But I realized that even if I'll be an engineer after 5 years, 10 years, I was so damn sure that I won't be happy. And if I won't be happy, then my parents will also not be happy. So I just took the decision. I just dropped out. I started a business. I had no experience. Long story short, that business failed. And then I started another, writing books. And then this is how actually I came into this world of book writing and publishing. But now my parents are very happy. They are very, very proud. Funny thing is, I am a first time first generation entrepreneur in my family. So after me, like my younger brother, my younger sister, and including my dad, everyone are doing businesses inspired by me.
Come on now. Come on. That's
They have
awesome.
their own. So I've seen that, like that shift, that mental shift in my family after seeing me that like I'm doing what I'm really enjoying doing. I have set up a business in such a way that my team is happy. I really think about team first, right? There are times like when I had no money to pay my rents, my bills, but somehow like I just had to pay salaries to my employees. Like I always I never delay giving salaries to my employees.
Awesome.
This is my first rule of thumb, that because they have their own families, they have trusted me, right? And I really didn't want to break that trust. So this is, for me, it's very important that if someone is trusting me, they should get what they have worked for, right?
Right.
So
That's awesome.
so I try my best to use originality in every aspect of my life and in the business, just to make sure that not only me, like everyone who is associated with me, who is around me, are happy.
That's awesome. A lot of great stuff there, Vikrant, man. And I really appreciate your time. You're a busy man. I know he got some more podcasts to do today, so he's a busy man. But thank you for taking the time out to talk to me, man, and talk to the audience and listeners of Not Your Average Boss, man. I really appreciate your time. Before you go, I want you to kind of just talk about ChatGPT real quick. I don't talk a lot about tech here, and I want to start talking more about tech. Some people are super against it. I've used it. I think it's good to use as far as a guide, kind of like Google, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying like take the whole situation and plagiarize and all that, because that's the main thing that people are scared about when using it. So can you tell us a little bit about your experience with ChatGPT and how beneficial it can be, and or your thoughts on it?
Yeah, again, with any new technology, like there are a set of people like who are against it. There's some people like who are really going crazy about it. So ChatGPT is taking the world. It has been really helpful for us as well. Like we are doing some sort of things like, for example, social media, blog, but we always make sure that we don't plagiarize, right? There are certain prompts and commands, like you have to go through prompt engineering to understand exactly how to use the right type of prompts, just to make sure that ChatGPT understands you, understand your vision, understand your message, understand your tone, your style of writing, and then write content based on that. So it's kind of a modern day ghostwriter, right? Where you have, like, ghostwriting is not kind of an unethical thing. Like you are just telling someone that, hey, this is what I know, like, and then they write the book or anything else on your behalf. Specifically for the book thing, it's kind of a very, very tricky, because you're not just writing some sort of captions for Instagram or some blog post. You're writing an entire book, and the book is kind of for most of the people, like the books are very special.
Right.
The books usually comes from their heart, and it should reflect their experience, their message, their story, their vision as well. So I don't recommend anyone to use ChatGPT. Like, of course, it's possible that you can write the entire book using ChatGPT, but at the same time, like, you have to use your own creativity just to make sure that you don't plagiarize, and just to make sure that you write the book in such a way that it is a reflection of you. It should not look robotic, because eventually if a reader is going to go through the book, they should it should really help them on their journey. Maybe they are on point A, they want to go to point B. So it should really take them from point A to point B. if your book can do that, and if you are taking some help with using ChatGPT, that is fine. But if you have written a book that is just for the sake of writing a book, and it is not helpful for the reader, it doesn't make sense. You should not write a book then.
Man, so you hear that, aspiring authors? It's how to get from point A to point B and sharing you with the world. And if it's fiction, then you still want to put your element of writing in the situation when it comes to it. Even if you use ChatGPT as a guide for it. But yeah, man, great information, really, really awesome information and book, business. Appreciate what you're doing, man. If you could let the people know where they could find you and where they could look more into your business, that'd be great.
Yeah, sure. So if you will visit authorsonmission.com, you will find out dozens and dozens of testimonials and case studies of people who have worked with us and how we exactly help our clients turn their book ideas into best-selling books. So if you think that after going through the testimonials and case studies, if you think that this is the right fit, just simply book a call with us, and one of our author strategists is going to go on a call, and we are a right fit, then we'll onboard you.
Awesome. Well, thank you once again for your time, Vikrant. Appreciate it, and I'll be getting with you soon, man. Like I said, thanks again for everything.
Thank you so much, Adrian, for having me.
Yes, sir. You take care. So awesome conversation with Vikrant, man. Man, wealth of knowledge when it comes to being an author and entrepreneurship, and really about team and building your team up, and business oriented, business minded, and goal oriented. Great. That Power Star, man, is really awesome. So I really admonish you check out his books, Power to Success Mantra and How to Write a Bestseller, on Amazon currently now. But yeah, it was great talking with them. Great energy, great. Down to earth, real about, trying to start his journey when it comes to entrepreneurship. And yeah, money is a motivator. It's a good motivator. We know we want to make money. Money answers all things. However, when money is only the situation that you're looking at, and you're not looking at, hey, will I be fulfilled in this situation? Then, fulfillment is going to always supersede that. So what's going to make me the most fulfilled? Granted, I took a pay cut when I left, my corporate job, but, I feel more fulfilled now. I felt fulfilled then too, because I was helping people. I saw people get promoted, and there's numerous people who got promoted under me, and that was awesome to see that. And I was thankful to be a part of their journey. So I'm not saying I didn't get fulfillment out of that, but what was more important to me in the definition of success shifted when, I started to look at, man, my passion is helping people, but I want to help people in my way and do it in my environment, in my time, in my space. And, this is what I'm doing, with Not Your Average Boss. And I was doing that when I was working a corporate job, doing the blog. I started that in the podcast when I was still working, because I wanted to share more insight and be more, have a conversation, and be more open. I was always the type of person who was, you could talk to me about anything and real and, care about my people. It was never just, okay, I'm the manager, you got to listen to me. No, it was, I'm the manager. I'm in this position. I'm in a leadership authoritative position. However, I'm here to help you discover what you want to do and what you want to get out of this position, out of this job, out of this career, and help, catapult you on your journey towards your goals. And, we talked about James Clear. The goal is the point that you're trying to get to. However, the system is the vehicle that's going to get you there. So you have to look at your vehicle. Does it need maintenance? Does it need attention right now? Do you know where you're going in your life when it comes to your vehicle? Because a lot of times our system is kind of broken down, and we're just kind of, living life. Just whatever happens today happens today. No structure. Is just, this is what's going to happen, and I'm just going to deal with it. We have to revisit our vehicle, the system that we have in place to help us reach our goals, because that's what's going to help us, reach that goal, reach the next one, reach the next mile marker, reach the next milestone in our journey of life, not just in our career, but in life in general. What makes you feel most at peace with yourself, knowing that, hey, I'm fulfilled. Yeah, I know I need to grind this out this amount of time because of my financial plan. I'm trying to get out of debt and get, my debt to income ratio up better, to have more income that I have expenses and debt so I can live comfortably and things like that, and focus on retirement and set yourself up good when it comes to that aspect of it, learning that, because like we said, right, like James Clear was talking about, that 1% each day, it's a minimal thing, right? That 1% could look different for different people though. I mean, my 1% could be I'm reading the whole chapter. Your 1% could be I'm reading 2 chapters. You see what I'm saying? So whatever you feel your 1% needs to be when it comes to your progression within your life and towards your goals, that's what you need to assess. And that's what we need to look at when it comes to us defining what success means and looks like to us. So hopefully you got something from this episode. Like I said, Vikrant was awesome to have on, and I was really thankful to have him on, and he really encouraged me, inspired me with his book and just with his conversation beforehand. Really great dude. So check him out. But yeah, if you have any other questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. Check out our social media, Instagram, Facebook, Not Your Average Boss, and our website, notyouraveragebboss.com has some great resources on there, free resources you can download today to help supercharge your life when it comes to your career, when it comes to your finances, when it comes to even VA claims and what you're trying to accomplish with that. Reach out to us, get in contact, and we'll do our best to help and guide you and structure and cater an individual plan of action for your life. So this is Adrian Hackney, Not Your Average Boss, signing off. Peace. Listen to Not Your Average Boss podcast on Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and more. Thank you for listening.